Hello, for this video we're going to be making a paracord bracelet. They're also called survivor bracelets. So you just need some paracord and a buckle like this. You also are going to need some scissors and a lighter, which you will only be using if you have your parent or guardian's permission, or they can help you with this. So I've got some paracord and I'm measuring it. I put the two ends together so that it's in half, and I want it to be, this is about my arm's length across, and it's doubled my arm's length. So the first thing that I need to do is with my buckle, I have this blue one, I'm going to take the middle of the paracord and push it through one of these spots. And because I'm using a smaller buckle, it's kind of hard. If you have a bigger buckle, they usually have bigger openings right here. There we go. And now that I have this loop, I'm gonna pull the rest of the strings through it. So let me get that out there, and then pull it tight like this. Now I'm going to measure my wrist of how long I want this bracelet to be. And you want it to be close to your wrist. I don't like things super tight, but you also need to leave a little bit of room, because when we start doing the bracelet, it'll get thicker. So you need to leave it a little extra room than you think you want. And so I'm gonna hold it here. And now it's gonna be easier for me. You can leave it attached if you want to, but I'm going to thread this part of my strings through here until it gets to this part. So here's one, oops, and then here is the other. So now, oops, let's put this all the way through. I'll have to remeasure my wrist. Okay, so there's this. I need to twist it to make sure that they're on the same spot. So now that I've got it strung through, I'm going to just remeasure my wrist where I want it to close. So this is too big, so I'm gonna use my hand, okay, to pull it down here. And I'm gonna pull it out. And like right there is kind of where I'm going to keep it. So now you need to make sure they're open, and I'm gonna lay it down so that the strings, so that they're coming out towards me. And then you want to organize your strings so that you've got one on this side, you've got the two in the middle, and then you've got one on the other side. So you can start with whichever side you want to. I'm gonna start on this is my left. So what you wanna do is take this string and make a loop right here, like this. This first couple of weaves that you do are gonna be kind of hard because this is not secured in place. So do you see right here, I've got my loop, and then I'm gonna take this other one, and I want to go over this string, but then I need to go underneath over here, underneath those, and come up through this loop. And like I said, it's kind of hard to hold it because this is the first one, and then you just pull it tight, and I'm using the rest of my fingers to hold it down like that. That looks great. It doesn't look like much right now because that's the first one, but we just did a loop on this side, so now we're gonna do the loop on the other side. So I'm gonna take this string, and here's my loop. I'm gonna take this one and go over so that it crosses over, and then I'm going underneath and up through my loop. And I'm gonna pull it tight again. Like that, okay. And so now you can kind of start to see there's a little bit of a pattern. I'm gonna do it again because now, once I've done that second one, it's pretty tight. This is not gonna move anywhere. So now I can just kind of go a little faster, make things a little tighter. Okay, so we just did a loop on this side. So now it's time to use this other side. I'm making my loop. Oops, I'm falling off the table. Okay, here's my loop, like that. This one needs to go over this string and then under here and up through this side, and now I can tighten it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a loop on this side, and I'll do a couple before, I'll do a couple right now so that you can see the pattern that shows up. Here's this one, I need to go this way. And it's easier for me, those first couple, it's easier to hold the bracelet like down on the table so that I have a surface to work with. But once you start getting more comfortable, you can pick it up and hold it and do whatever. So now it's time for me to do on this one. So I'm gonna make a loop like this. And then this string is gonna go over and up through here like that. And then I just need to pull it tight. So this string, it's kind of hard to see, but can you see there's like a zigzag right here, and then you're alternating where these loops are, and it looks the same on the back as it does on the front, but that's when we alternate sides. That's how we get those alternating little loops like that. So then you just keep going until you filled up your whole bracelet. So as you can see right here, this is another one that's been done before now, but this one's easier to see the pattern that comes up when you start weaving it. But back to mine. So I'm kind of towards the end here, so I just need a few more of these left. So then I go under and I pull it through, and I can straighten it, tighten it. Okay, so you can see the side that has this on it down here, because that string is what's coming out, that's where I'm gonna make my loop. So I go over, this one's gonna go over it as well, and then behind everything and up through that, like that. And when I start getting towards the end over here, it's kind of just figuring out how many more I need to do till I want to be done. And I want it to be filled up completely, and so I kind of will start to stretch this out, and if I need to give more room or less room, we'll kind of make it work down here. So there's one stitch. So I think I've got room for one more right over here. Yeah, that'll be it right there. And I'm just gonna give it an extra pull, and I'm gonna kind of stretch everything out, make it less stiff. So there is my whole bracelet. So now this end part is where you need to be really careful and get either permission from an adult around you or get someone to help you with it. So what we're going to do is cut the string right here, cut off our excess, and then we're going to use a lighter to kind of, this paracord, it's a synthetic fiber, I guess you could say. It's like kind of like a plasticky material, so it'll start to melt. So when I use that lighter and I'm gonna melt the ends of it, I'm gonna use my scissors, the end of it, because it's, you know, it's hot, I don't want to touch it. I'm gonna use the metal part of my scissors to push it down, the part that's melted, so then when it cools off, it'll be secured right here. So I'll show you that really quick. Remember, you need to have permission or help to do this part. So I'm gonna cut right here, and I'll just do one at a time so that I don't have to coordinate too much. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure all of my fingers are clear. And I go like this. You see how the end of that is starting to melt. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm going to push it down. And now that it's clear, it's still a little warm, but it's okay for me to touch it. And you can kind of see that it melted, and then when I pushed it down, now it's in there, and it's like we made the surface of this part bigger than that little space, so it won't be going anywhere. And now I'm gonna do the other side. So I'm just gonna cut it right here. Get rid of that. Here's my melting it. Okay, and then I'm going to push it down in there. Okay, so now that's all melted, and now this is my, well, I need to put it on first. This is my paracord bracelet. So because it was one continuous piece of rope, if you're ever out camping or you're hiking or you're somewhere outside and have an emergency and you need some rope, you can really quick use something sharp to undo the ends right here. And then you've got like at least 5 feet of rope. Or paracord, I'll show you on these bits that I cut off, has little strings on the inside. You can always pull the inside strings out and use these as fishing line, or you know, you've got some smaller strings, you've got bigger strings, a rope. These are good for stringing canoes or if you need to string up some food, anything like that. So there is your paracord bracelet.